In my past life, I ruined my family. My billionaire parents, bankrupt and broken, threw themselves from the roof of their skyscraper. My CEO brother was framed and jailed. My sister took her own life. When fate gave us another chance, they came back, burning for revenge. My brother's eyes were cold with hatred. This time, he said, voice low and venomous, she'll wish she'd never been born. But the next instant he heard something unexpected, my thoughts. My brother is so handsome, like a storybook prince. I still have a candy in my pocket, maybe I should give it to him? Would he like it? He froze. My sister's lips curved into an icy smile. Don't be fooled. Little monsters are good at pretending. Once we take her home, her mask will fall off. Yet all I did was look up at her with pure adoration, clapping my tiny hands. When sister dances, her dress twirls like fairy wings. I love it. Silence filled the room as they stared at my 3-year-old self. Was she always this cute? How are we supposed to hate something like this? When the illustrious Vance family visited the orphanage, their gazes all landed on me, sharp, assessing, and cold. I instinctively shrank back, fingers gripping the edge of my worn-out dress. Are they my real family? They're so beautiful. I'm so happy. But why do they look so angry? Is it because I don't look like them? My father gave me one emotionless glance. Take her. The orphanage director, Mama Ellen, nearly burst with joy. She grabbed my hand and pulled me forward. Nora, sweetheart. Go on, your parents are here. You're going home to a wonderful life. I stumbled ahead, my heart pounding. My mother flinched away slightly, as though my touch might contaminate her. My brother's expression twisted into open disgust. Only my sister, Monica, extended her hand with a practiced, picture-perfect smile. Come now, little sister. Let's go home. Home? I hesitated, then reached out my small, grimy hand. Her hand is so white and soft, mine is dirty. What if I stain her fingers? But I'm finally going home. I'm so happy. Just before our fingers touched, crack. The dim light bulb overhead burst into shards of glass. Ah! Monica screamed, jerking her hand away as splinters rained down. My father moved at once, pulling my mother and sister behind him, eyes sharp as knives. My brother stepped forward, shielding them from me. Ha!
You almost fooled me, he spat.
But you haven't changed at all. Still the same cursed child who ruined us once before. I stood frozen, gripping my dress, terrified. Brother, I didn't do anything. Their stunned faces shifted, doubt flickering in their eyes. It's just bad wiring. That light's been faulty for weeks. Mama Ellen cried, rushing to check on me. Nora, did you get hurt? A shard had nicked my ankle, and a drop of blood welled up. I didn't cry, only stared at their guarded expressions. The ache in my chest hurt far more than the wound. Did the light break because I reached for her? Am I cursed again? Will they hate me for this too? A wave of despair washed over me, heavy and suffocating. I feared, as I always did, that my misfortune would lead to abandonment once more. But they still brought me into the car. They still brought me home. Liam, my brother, took the front passenger seat. From the rearview mirror, his eyes met mine with cold suspicion. I immediately looked away, twisting the worn fabric of my dress in my small hands. Is he staring at me? Does he think I'm dirty? Does he already hate me? Yes, she's a handful, Liam muttered quietly, almost to himself. I frowned, confused, but he had already turned his gaze to the window, as if nothing had been said. When the car finally arrived at the estate, no, the mansion, my mouth fell open. Wow, it's like a castle straight out of a storybook. The car stopped beneath the grand portico. The driver rushed out and opened the doors. My father led the way, my mother following hesitantly. Liam moved with effortless grace, assisting Monica as she stepped out. And then it happened. A delicate ribbon on Monica's shoe caught on a small hook under the car mat, and she stumbled forward. Oh, she gasped. Monica, my mother cried, her voice high with alarm. Liam lunged, catching her arm just before her face could hit the marble steps. She leaned heavily against him, pale and trembling, tears welling instantly. What happened? My father demanded sharply. The driver knelt, sweating. Sir, it's the mat hook. It's never been exposed before. I don't know how. All eyes turned to me, the last to leave the car. I froze, heart hammering. Why is sister crying? Seeing her cry makes me sad. Did I cause this? My father's gaze lingered on me briefly. Forget it. Let's go inside. Mr. Kingston, show her to her room. The butler stepped forward. This way, little miss. My room was at the far end of the third-floor corridor, spacious and elegant, with a soft white rug, a pile of stuffed animals in one corner, and a bay window overlooking the garden. But it was lonely, too quiet, too far from everyone. A long hallway separated me from my family. Mr. Kingston's voice was polite, almost cold. This will be your room. The washroom is that way. Meals will be called for you. You are not to wander the house or disturb Mr. and Mrs. Vance, nor the young master and Miss. He left, closing the door softly behind him.
Click.
The sound echoed in the silence. For a moment, I felt completely alone. Don't wander, don't disturb. Do they think if I get close, I'll bring bad luck? I curled into the thick duvet, hiding my face, trying to stifle the sobs. Crying wouldn't help. It might only make them despise me more. I sniffled, forcing the tears back. My eyes landed on the small bag I'd brought from the orphanage. I opened it carefully. Inside were a few tattered clothes and a dented plastic water bottle with a little yellow duck printed on it. I hugged it tight. A gift from a kind older girl at the orphanage, my only treasure. Mama Ellen said warm water helps when someone's coughing. Daddy's been coughing all the way here. The desire to help him, however small, outweighed my fear and sadness. I gripped the bottle and tiptoed down the carpeted hallway, holding my breath, my tiny feet silent. My heart hammered as I approached the master bedroom. The door was slightly ajar, warm light spilling out along with voices. It's insane. I swear I heard her talking, but her mouth didn't move. Are we hearing her thoughts? Liam's voice was incredulous. Monica's tone was calm. And if we are, you should know her better than anyone. You know what she's capable of. Mother added, I'm telling you, she's tricking us. It's just one of her wicked little games. Who are they talking about? Some super evil villain. I raised my tiny fist indignantly. Then I heard my father cough again. Wiping my sweaty hands on my dress, I eased the door open further and peeked in. The family sat together, a united front. Liam noticed me and smirked. Well, speak of the devil. I smiled sweetly at him. My brother is so handsome, like a fairy tale prince. I'm so lucky to have him. He flushed slightly, unaccustomed to praise. I turned to my father. He was reading a document, frowning, coughing again. My fear melted into determination. I scurried over on short legs, holding the bottle like a prized possession. Daddy, warm water, I said, lifting it toward him, but my foot caught the edge of the rug. Whoa! The bottle slipped from my hands, spilling water across my father's important papers.
Crash.
His gaze was ice. What do you think you're doing? It's warm water, I whimpered. For Daddy to drink. For me to drink? His expression twisted with disgust. Who knows what filth you've put in this? Didn't poison us in the last life, so now you try something new? After a second chance, why are you still this wicked? Tears poured down my face. It's clean. Mama Ellen said warm water helps coughs. I just want Daddy to feel better. My father's raised hand froze midair. He stared at my tearful, hurting face, eyes filled with confusion, not malice. After a long, tense moment, he sighed and lowered his hand. He hadn't hit me, but somehow, I felt he was even angrier than before. A few days later, the house was buzzing with preparations. Mother had laid out a stunning dress, covered in sparkling sequins. Mommy looks like a fairy princess. Oh no, one of the little stars is dusty. It's lost its shine. I spotted a single speck of dust near the hem. Mama Ellen always said that beauty must be cared for, or it loses its magic. My small hand went to my pocket and retrieved a tiny handkerchief, worn from countless washes but clean. As soon as Mother left the room to pick out her accessories, I scurried forward and gently wiped the dusty sequin. What are you doing? My dress. Stop it. Mother's voice was sharp, full of outrage. Are you trying to ruin it? The shock made me tumble backward, dropping my handkerchief. Mother trembled with fury, ready to call the staff to drag me away.
No.
I was just cleaning it. The handkerchief is clean. Mama Ellen washed it. Her glare softened slightly as her eyes landed on the hem. The dust was gone. Even the old handkerchief looked spotless. A brief moment of absurdity crossed her features. She opened her mouth to scold me, then exhaled in frustration. Just stay away from my things. After incidents like these, the household atmosphere shifted. The family spoke in hushed tones, using words I didn't understand. Inner voice, coincidence, too convincing. An unspoken agreement formed. As long as I stayed out of serious trouble, they could coexist with me. One day, a colorful notice for a school trip to an amusement park caught my eye, stuck to the refrigerator. Each time I passed, I froze, staring with greedy longing. An amusement park. Houses that are all colors. Horses that spin around and around. Big balloons floating high in the sky. I want to go just once. Mother noticed my gaze. The hint of yearning in my eyes seemed to prick her like a needle. Ahem, she said, her tone still cool but less sharp. Since you're living here now, Monica, Liam, take her with you tomorrow. It'll keep her occupied. Liam's frown was immediate.
Mom.
Take her? Amusement parks are chaotic. Who knows what disaster she'll cause? That's enough, Father said, his gaze moving from my brightening face back to his son. Your mother has spoken. Take her. Keep a close eye on her and make sure she stays out of trouble. Monica said nothing, simply dabbing her lips with a napkin, a silent agreement. The next day felt like a dream. Dressed in a new outfit bought by a maid, I held Monica's hand tightly as we entered the amusement park. My eyes widened at the spectacle.
Wow.
A big castle. Horses that sing. Cotton candy clouds. I tried to stifle my excitement, fearing that too much joy would bring bad luck. But misfortune, it seemed, was never far. On the spinning teacups, ours got stuck mid-ride, dizzying us. A bird dive-bombed my ice cream. Even when I went to the restroom, a burst pipe soaked Liam and Monica waiting outside. Nora. I knew it. Liam hissed, pale with rage. You're a walking disaster. Stay away from us. Monica's expression was stormy. We never should have brought you. My heart sank. Tears threatened, but I bit my lip. I'm sorry. I just wanted to have fun with my brother and sister. Then, a person in a teddy bear costume appeared, holding a bunch of colorful balloons. Hey there, little one. Want a balloon? They're free. I shrank behind Monica, uneasy. This bear feels strange. The bear persisted, pressing a balloon into my hand, then lunged suddenly, grabbing Monica's arm. Ah, she screamed. What are you doing? Liam shouted, lunging forward. A second figure emerged, pressing a dagger to Liam's back. Don't move. Nobody move. If you want to stay unharmed, come quietly, the voice hissed from inside the bear head. Liam's eyes blazed, but he froze under the threat. Monica trembled, paralyzed with fear. I was frozen too, the balloons slipping from my fingers. Bad guys. They're taking my brother and sister. I can't let them. A fierce surge of courage overtook me. Protect them. That thought eclipsed all fear. As the kidnappers tried to drag Liam and Monica toward a hidden service exit, a small, furious figure, me, launched at them like a tiny cannonball. Let go of my brother and sister. Thud. The man in the bear suit, clearly not expecting an attack from the toddler he'd ignored, stumbled. His grip on Monica loosened. You little brat, he cursed, wincing in pain as he swiped at me with his free hand. In that split second of distraction, Liam wrenched himself free from the other man's hold and threw a hard punch at the bear's face.
Nora, run.
Get help. Liam roared as he fought. I was shoved aside and fell hard, scraping my palms on the rough pavement. The pain was sharp and hot, but seeing my siblings still in danger, I forgot all about it. I scrambled to my feet and, with all the strength in my tiny body, screamed, Bad men. Kidnappers. Help. Someone's taking my brother and sister. The kidnappers are hurting them. The shrill, desperate cries of a child instantly drew attention. Kidnappers? Where?
Quick.
Something's happening over there. Tourists began to converge on our location. A few burly men were the first to react, running towards us. Damn it, you little pest. The man in the bear suit started to panic. His accomplice, seeing the approaching crowd, grew desperate. His eyes flashed with malice, and he pulled out a switchblade. He didn't turn on the crowd. He lunged at the closest, easiest target. He lunged at me. Should have stayed out of this. Nora. My brothers and sisters' pupils contracted in terror, their screams tearing through the air. It all happened so fast. I felt a sudden coldness in my stomach, and then all my strength was gone. I collapsed like a doll whose strings had been cut. The world blurred. I could vaguely sense Liam tackling the man to the ground with a furious roar. I felt Monica fall to her knees beside me, her cold, trembling hands pressing down on the bleeding wound. "Nora, stay with me. Don't go to sleep. Look at me." Her voice was choked with sobs, laced with a panic I had never heard before. "Don't you dare fall asleep. Nora Vance. I order you not to sleep." Liam's voice was hoarse as he scooped me into his arms and sprinted toward the parking lot. His arms were tense, and I could feel his whole body shaking. "It hurts so cold. As long as brother and sister are okay." "I'm sorry I made trouble again." That was my last thought before everything went black. The hospital smelled sharp and sterile. When I woke up, I saw 4 faces gathered around my bed: Dad, Mom, Liam, and Monica. They were all there. Their eyes were red-rimmed, their faces etched with exhaustion and worry. "She's awake. Doctor. She's awake." My mother was the first to notice, her voice raspy with relief. "How do you feel? Does it still hurt?" My father leaned in, his tone gentler than I had ever heard it, almost cautious. I weakly shook my head, too tired to speak. Liam's lips were pressed into a thin line. "You idiot," he suddenly burst out. "Who told you to charge him like that? Do you have a death wish?" Brother is yelling at me again. But why is his hand clenched so tight? And why is it shaking? Monica gently pushed him. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "That's enough out of you. Nora, thank you. Thank you for saving me and Liam." My parents were silent, their expressions a complex mixture of emotions as they looked at me. Later that night, the pain from my wound kept me from sleeping soundly. In a hazy state between waking and dreaming, I heard a hushed conversation by my bedside. It was my mother's voice, thick with unshed tears. If that knife had been an inch to the side, and we thought she was willing to give her life for Liam and Monica. My father sighed heavily. "I know. Her nature just seems to attract bad luck, but her heart is pure. It's softer than any of ours." Liam's voice was low, filled with remorse. "And I called her a jinx. I'm such a bastard." "But," Monica said softly, "if her bad luck is this powerful, does that mean we can't change what happened in our past life?" After a long silence, my father spoke again, his voice firm. "So what? We don't know what the future holds. But one thing is certain. She is our family. We were given a second chance. We can't spend it trying to avoid risk by pushing away the very person we should be protecting. Isn't that what a family is for? To face things together. Family together." A warmth spread through my chest, and a tear slipped from the corner of my eye. This time it wasn't from pain or sadness. After I was discharged, my family truly began to try. When I brought my father a glass of water, he would still look nervous, but he would force a smile and take it, even if the glass was prone to suddenly cracking. When my mother's dress got dusty, she would see my eager little handkerchief, hesitate for a moment, and then nod. My brother and sister started taking me with them to the bookstore, even though it meant one of them might trip on the way out the door, or we get caught in a sudden downpour. They tried so hard to be good to me, but the bad luck clung to us like a shadow. My father's crucial online conference disconnected the moment I walked by to offer him an apple. My mother's prized antique vase, which I had admired, was shattered the next day by a bird that flew into the house. My brother's big race was lost when his shoelace snapped at a critical moment because I was secretly cheering for him in stands. My sister's dance recital was almost a disaster when a stage light came loose and nearly fell on her right after I'd taken my seat in the front row. After every incident, I would see a flicker of frustration on their faces, but they would quickly mask it. "It's okay, Nora, it's not your fault. Daddy's internet provider is just terrible. It's just a vase. Mommy wanted a new one anyway. I lost because I didn't check my own equipment properly. The stage light was an accident. It had nothing to do with you." But I could see the exhaustion in their eyes. "It's all my fault. I'm like a plague. As long as I'm here, I'll keep bringing them misery. They're so good to me, but all I do is hurt them. If I left, would everything go back to normal?" That thought grew and grew until it became impossible to ignore. One afternoon, I scribbled a tiny, crooked note that said "only sorry," clutched my little yellow duck bottle, and quietly slipped out of the grand house that looked like a fairy tale castle. I had no plan. I just walked, letting my tiny feet carry me anywhere. Should I go back to the orphanage? But Mama Ellen probably wouldn't want me either. I only bring trouble. Lost in my thoughts, I didn't notice the speeding car hurtling toward me, its horn shrill and urgent. The screech of tires jolted me awake. I froze, staring at the enormous metal monster rushing forward. A strange calm settled over me, almost relief. Let it end like this. Then everyone will be safe from me. I closed my eyes, waiting. Suddenly, a strong force yanked me backward. Warm arms wrapped around me, tight and unyielding. Screech. The car skidded past, crashing into the roadside barrier. I looked up, still dazed, and saw my father's pale, terrified face. Holding me tightly were my mother's arms, and Liam and Monica came running, panic written all over their faces.
Nora.
You scared me half to death, my mother whispered, her voice ragged, her embrace crushing me. Why would you do something so dangerous? Liam shouted, eyes red, trying to sound angry but breaking with fear. Monica knelt beside me, cupping my face. Silly girl. Running away won't fix anything. That's not how it works. My father exhaled, steadying himself. Nora, look at me. Most of what's happened, it isn't your fault. My mother nodded, frantically. The amusement park kidnapping? That was one of your father's rivals. They planned it to scare him, not you. Liam ran a hand through his hair. And I fell in my race because I overtrained. My muscles were just exhausted. Monica wiped her tears. The stage light fell because the crew skipped a safety check. The person in charge got fired. My father stroked my hair, speaking with a conviction I had never heard. You're not a jinx, Nora. Maybe your luck is unusual, but because of you, problems get noticed before they turn worse. You might be our little charm after all. Tears blurred my vision as hope dared to bloom. Really? I'm not a jinx. In unison. Of course you're not. You're our lucky charm. From that day, the tight knot of fear in my chest began to loosen. Accidents still happened, but now, my family would glance at each other and smile whenever something went wrong. Good thing Nora was here. Daddy might have spilled coffee all over that contract. Whoops. Mommy almost tripped. Thanks for the little reminder, Nora. Bike has a flat? Glad we noticed before leaving. Thanks, Nora. Their gentle little white lies felt like sunlight chasing shadows from my heart. I started to accept myself, letting go of the guilt I had carried for so long. Slowly, my lifelong streak of bad luck began to fade, replaced by small bits of unexpected fortune. The house was calmer. Even my father joked that since I started believing I was a charm, his company's stock had improved. One weekend, my mother suggested a family trip to a new countryside resort. They have hot springs, beautiful scenery, and it'll be relaxing, she said. Monica linked her arm with my mother, smiling. Liam looked up from his magazine. Sounds fun. Nora, want to go to a hot spring?
Yes.
Really, really, I cried, bouncing in excitement. A hot spring. Steamy pools. With my whole family. Best day ever. My father set aside his newspaper with a relaxed smile. All right, everyone. Mr. Kingston, arrange the car. The trip was smooth. Green lights all the way. At the resort, the manager upgraded us to the best suite with a private open-air hot spring. Is this because of me? My heart fluttered. Liam whistled as he carried my little suitcase. Not bad. Some good luck here. Nora, is this your doing? I shook my head, cheeks burning. Monica was already on the terrace. Come see. The view's incredible. We can watch the stars tonight from the hot spring. That evening, we soaked in warm water, steam curling around us. Hills rolled in the distance, stars appearing in the sky. My father leaned back, eyes closed in bliss. My mother and sister chatted softly, their laughter floating in the air. Liam splashed me playfully. This is perfect. My heart was full. I wish it could stay like this forever. No bad luck, just happiness. I made a quiet wish, letting it drift among the stars. That evening, we dined at the resort's signature restaurant. Every dish was exquisite, the service impeccable. As we finished, the manager approached with a special treat, a complimentary dessert designed to dazzle. We hope you enjoyed your meal, he said warmly. This is our gift. May your family always be happy together. The dessert looked almost magical. I picked up my small spoon and took a careful bite. So yummy. Sweet, smooth, with little crunchy bits. I closed my eyes, savoring it completely. Seeing my enjoyment, Liam reached playfully, trying to snatch a taste. Let me have some of yours. I hugged my tiny plate protectively. Brother, Eat your own? We laughed, our spoons clinking together by accident.
Ting.
We froze for a moment, then both burst into giggles. My parents and Monica watched us, their smiles warm, relaxed, and genuine. Nothing went wrong. The air was full of nothing but laughter and joy. That night, I lay in the soft, spacious bed, listening to Monica's even breathing nearby. I felt completely safe and content. Mama Ellen, I'm so happy now. I have a home, a mommy, a daddy, a brother, and a sister. They love me. I'm not a jinx. I'm their lucky charm. With a gentle smile, I drifted off. In my dreams, there were no shattered bulbs, no spilled water, no fearful stares. Only warmth, sunlight, sweet treats, and the smiles of my family. I realized then that fate had shifted quietly in our favor, almost imperceptibly. As I grew, my little streak of fortune became more noticeable. When my father took me to business meetings, deadlocked deals suddenly resolved in his favor. At auctions with my mother, the items she casually asked my opinion on often turned out to be priceless. When my brother struggled with tricky tech projects, a brief chat with me would spark brilliant solutions. And when my sister practiced dancing, a renowned teacher sometimes noticed her while I clapped and invited her to train under them. I had truly changed from the child everyone feared might bring misfortune into the home, to a beloved little charm who brought happiness and luck to the family. On a sunny weekend, I ran around the garden in a pretty dress, clutching my yellow duck bottle. One moment, I was offering my father a sip of water. The next, I was giving my mother a flower. I cheered for my brother's drone as it zipped through the air and twirled alongside my sister. The sunlight bathed us in warmth, laughter spilling freely across the yard. The bitterness of the past, the fear of fate, it had all melted away in the quiet rhythm of everyday love. We were simply a family now, ordinary yet blissfully happy. My father set aside his newspaper, opening his arms wide. Come here, Daddy's little lucky charm. Let me have a hug and borrow some of that good luck. Giggling, I ran into his embrace, feeling completely safe and loved, surrounded by the family that had become my whole world.